Welcome to Conversations with Kay. I'm Kay Ryder, and every week I talk with Vermonters who are leaders in the fields of government, healthcare, education, the arts, and community life. My guest is from the world of the arts. It's a pleasure to welcome back Dawn Willis, who is the artistic director of Bella Voce, Women's Chorus of Vermont. And I also send greetings to my fans on radio station 99.3 FM, WBVT LP. Welcome back.
Thank you, Kay. I'm glad to be here.
Well, now, what does Bella Voce stand for in English?
It's the Italian term for beautiful voice. And we embrace that term because we strive in all our rehearsals and, of course, our performances to sound like one beautiful voice.
Right. Now, how many parts do you have singing?
Well, we have 36 members this semester, this year, but we range from 35 to 40, and we sing music that sometimes spreads us as far as 8 parts. Generally, we sing 3 or 4 part music, but even within that, there will be divisi sections, and since we have a large number of women, we can cover all those parts.
Great. So you have some very high voices and some very low voices.
Absolutely. We have well over 2 octaves of range in our choir, so
great.
It works well.
That's great. How would you describe Bella Voce? How would you describe it?
It's a community choir. We are 14 years old this season and made up of women who come from all manner of careers and lives and areas across the state. We have, of course, several musicians, professional musicians who are teachers in the classroom, music educators, voice teachers, professional instrumentalists. We really have a cross-section of musicians in the group, and also a number of women who have sung their whole lives, studied music in college, their day job might be in the health field or teaching other areas or business. We really have a cross-section of women in this group.
Well, one thing in common, they love to sing.
They do love to sing.
That's marvelous. Actually, Bella Voce has been described as Vermont's premier women's chorus.
Well, we're proud of that.
Are there other women's choruses in Vermont?
There are several, sort of in the larger community centers. We've had the opportunity to interact with a few of them over the years.
Great.
And enjoy that sort of sisterhood of singers.
Right. Do you have to audition to become a member of Bella Voce?
Yes, Bella Voce has an audition. Usually we schedule them in the summer. July is our general time frame. Occasionally also in January before we begin our second semester. Mm-hmm. But by and large, we bring in new singers in the summer so that when we start our rehearsals in the fall, they're up and running.
And everybody has the music ahead of time?
Yes. So as far as our audition information, there's information on our website about that, but everybody comes in and sings the national anthem, which we all know has a wide range, and then they can bring a solo of their choice and a little bit of sight reading. We get a chance to find out about their choral experience. But then when they're in the group, we just jump right in and start singing right away the very first rehearsal.
George London, the famous bass baritone, had a funny article I read about the national anthem and how difficult it is to sing. And he says, by the time you sing, oh, say, you've lost the sopranos and the tenors.
Well, I do give people the opportunity to choose their own key.
That's
so
good.
They can put it where it fits well for their voice. But it's actually a pretty good vehicle to show a person's range. And most people know it. It's funny, though. We have had some singers come in through UVM and other places who are from other countries. And for them, it's a little bit of a learning curve.
Right.
But I do have the music for everyone who comes, so they don't have to worry about remembering the words.
Right. Where do you perform?
We obviously are based here in the Burlington area. We actually rehearse at Essex High and perform in a circle around the Burlington area. This year, our new venue's in St. Michael's Recital Hall there at the college. And so we're based more there for our performances. And then in the springtime, we usually have a run-out concert in a variety of directions, sometimes to South Hero, sometimes north, sometimes south. This year we'll be in Stowe.
Okay, I'm talking with Dawn Willis, who's the artistic director of Bella Voce, Women's Chorus of Vermont. Your Spring Creations Music.
Spring Creations
concerts
Music, yes.
will be performed in May. When and where will these concerts be held?
Yes, on Saturday, May 19th, 7:30 at the Stowe Community Church there in their main street. We'll perform there that Saturday night, and then Sunday we'll be at the St. Michael's Recital Hall. So that's a 3 o'clock concert on the 20th of May.
Okay, now you have 2 big concerts a year, correct?
Yes. Yes, we
Right.
do. December, we have our big holiday concerts, and May are our spring concerts.
Right, now, the spring concerts, you have a special theme for these concerts?
We do. Sing Creations Music. I love Vermont in the spring. Being a native Texan, I must say, from West Texas, which is mostly brown a lot of the year, the springtime here is one of my very favorite seasons. And so we're celebrating that music this year. We'll be featuring music of English and Scottish composers. We have 2 wonderful guest artists that will be joining us, Laura Markowitz, a very fine violinist, and John Dunlop from the orchestra. He's from the VSO, wonderful cellist. They'll be a duo that will perform with us and also some of their own repertoire. And this is all sort of building towards Bella Voce's big trip to Scotland in June. This choir loves to tour. We've been to Europe several times and are particularly excited about going to Scotland this year.
We can talk about Scotland in detail later on, but right now, what are you singing actually at these concerts? Do you know?
Yes, well, Stephen Paulus is a very well-respected choral composer who's also written a variety of instrumental pieces. His song, Sing Creations Music On, is the centerpiece of this concert. And it's a celebration of really the joy of creation and sort of the refreshing spirit that springtime brings to us all. It's a vibrant, exciting piece. It's a big opener for this concert. And then we'll weave in a number of Scottish-based tunes. For example, the original tune of Auld Lang Syne, and the Robert Burns text, and this sort of hearkening to the joy of Scotland. Those are some of the featured items, and some madrigals, which we love to sing in the spring, and light repertoire.
Hey, diddy diddy ho. Right?
Well, there'll be a few, all manner of hey nanny nannies and other things.
Right,
so
right.
it's fun to do in that springtime context.
Right. Robbie Burns, I'm a big Robbie Burns fan.
Yes.
So I doing Flow Gently, Sweet Afton.
That is one of the pieces we would love to do this spring, and he had such amazing texts that were just, well, they're timeless. They're still performed and sung, and wonderful arrangements of them are made today. And,
right, right. Well, he really loves Scotland.
Yes.
And he almost like the patron saint over there,
Yes.
If it wasn't for St. Andrew, I guess he would be. But no, I really love his. I love his words, and I love the songs that have been made. Some he wrote, I guess.
He's almost like the voice of Scotland. It's that sort of timelessness that endures and reflects the heart of that country.
Oh, right. I'm part Scottish, so you probably have
You
guessed
resonate
that
with
by
this.
now.
Yes.
Bella Voce frequently collaborates with other groups, and I believe you're having a concert in February.
That's true. We are so delighted to have been invited to be a part of a collaboration. Counterpoint's artistic director, Nat Liu, contacted me over a year ago to say he had a special project in mind that he wanted to bring to fruition. And it's a multi-layered project where the music of Richard Stowe was going to be featured by his ensemble, Counterpoint. But Richard Stowe, who I'll tell you about in just a moment, also wrote music for women's choirs and men's choirs and mixed choirs, in addition to a great deal of instrumental music. And because he was a composer that found his way to St. Mike's, St. Michael's College, Nat wanted to feature his music and invited Bella Voce and my other ensemble, Solaris Vocal Ensemble, to be a part of a joint collaboration of performance and recording to create a CD of the choral music of Richard Stohr. Richard Stohr was an Austrian composer who had to flee Austria before World War II and came to the United States, got a teaching position at the Curtis Institute. He was a highly respected composer and musician in Austria, in Vienna, at the conservatory there, and got this teaching job at the Curtis Institute. Taught Leonard Bernstein, a variety of other really renowned composers and conductors. And unfortunately, he was one of the last hired that when their student numbers declined, men now in the war, not in college, they had to let some of their music faculty go. And he was one of the first people that had to be let go from the Curtis Institute. So when he looked around for other options, he ended up at St. Michael's College, which is so remarkable. He taught German and music, and while he was here, he composed a vast amount of choral music, which was performed in that time frame there in the 60s, roughly. And Nat Lew pulled this music out of the archives in the library there and said, this music needs to be performed. So he has kind of woven all of this together, and on February 18th, all three ensembles will perform the music of Richard Stohr in various groups, and it'll be a delightful concert at St. Michael's in the recital hall at 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock.
Yes.
Sunday, February 18th.
That's correct.
That should be a marvelous concert. Now, checking in again, you have Bella Voce and you have Counterpoint. And who else?
Solaris Vocal Ensemble. It's the other mixed group I conduct. It's a community choir of 26 members, men and women.
Men and women?
Yes.
Well, that's interesting. And how long has Solaris been going on?
Solaris is actually celebrating its 5th anniversary this year.
Great, congratulations.
Thank you, and we're doing Carmina Burana in April.
Ooh.
So we're doing the 2 pianos and all the percussion. Tom Toner's bringing some percussion students from UVM, and we're going to celebrate our 5th anniversary also there at St. Michael's in the recital hall.
Great.
On the 7th of April.
Well, what time?
That's a 7:30 concert, Saturday night.
That's great. Now, going back to the to your composer, Mr. Stohr, we are very fortunate. We were very fortunate at the time of World War II. Unfortunately, many artists, particularly those with Jewish background, had to leave Europe. But we reaped a harvest of great talent, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
We had so many people came and they just contributed so much and wrote a lot of music while they were here.
And he was a very innovative composer. His Bella Voce and Solaris recorded some of his music this past spring. We've been working this music into our repertoire so that we could kind of record it along the way. So we sang a good bit of his music this spring, and it's the harmonies, the surprising harmonies he uses make his music fresh and exciting and just somehow very deep and meaningful as well. You get the sense that he was a person who had lived a broad life experience, and his music reflects that. And I'm particularly excited about that concert in February because all the groups will be bringing their own music, and then we'll end with a joint piece. And it's a great collaboration for choirs here in Vermont.
Right. Now, you're also using his music, I believe, singing his music at a concert in May?
That's right. We will be including some of that music from that concert, a set of 3 pieces for women's voices, Cradle Song, and then Echoes and Spring. So delightful music, incredible piano. He apparently had very large hands and could play extremely well, and so the great accompaniments for our pieces as well.
Right. Now, where and when is that concert, Dawn?
That's part of our spring Sing Creations music in May, and so those will be in that concert as well. And that is the 19th of May, Saturday the 19th at Stowe Community Church, 7:30, and then Sunday on the 20th at the recital hall there at St. Mike's at 3.
Now, I have written down for May 12th.
Yes.
There is a concert at with the Burlington Chamber Orchestra.
Another delightful collaboration for Bella Voce this year. We're just having such a fun year. We have performed one other time with the Burlington Chamber Orchestra, and we're hoping to have the opportunity to do this and received an invitation. The Burlington Chamber Orchestra is having their 10th year anniversary this year and focusing on the music of women composers. And so it worked out well for them to collaborate with us, and we're so excited to be a part of that concert. We will be performing music by Gwyneth Walker, who is a composer who has lived in Vermont as well as in Connecticut. She's based in Connecticut, but has spent a good bit of her lifetime here in Vermont as well. We'll be featuring some of her luscious music with the orchestra and the women's voices.
Now, you try to, sing women's music, women's composers?
We do. We are one of the groups that is actively commissioning music by women composers and trying to just foster a sense of the power of women's music, women's voices, just to keep the door open and experience music at all levels by women.
Do you sing music by African American composers?
Yes, as a matter of fact, one of them has reached out to me recently. She had heard that we had done one of her pieces, and she wanted to have a copy of our recording from the performance. And we love these various experiences from composers all over the world, frankly, who have reached out to us, both men and women.
Right. Well, that sounds like a great thing to be doing.
Well, I love the creativity of it all. I think it gives our group a mission to help build on repertoire for women's voices. There isn't as much music written for SSAA choirs, and so we are doing what we can to add to that repertoire through the commissioning project we have.
Right now, you're heading to Scotland.
Yes.
Oh, that's very exciting. And where will you be singing in Scotland?
Well, we'll be spending a good bit of our time, of course, in Edinburgh. It's a beautiful city, of course, and St. Giles, a phenomenal church. They have a summer series, which we're going to be a part of in June, and hope to have another choir that we will perform with. So we're so fortunate within our choir, within Bella Voce, we have Deb Flanders, who's part of the Good Speed and Bach travel company that does these musical tours all the time. That's their organizational mission. And so she provides us with very special musical opportunities along the way. And we've had wonderful tours with this group. We've sung in Ireland and Italy, Austria, Germany, in Prague, in the Czech Republic, and in Canada. So we've had an opportunity to really experience a lot of places across the world.
Well, that sounds exciting. Now St. Giles is right on the Royal Mile.
Beautiful church and incredible acoustics. It will be a wonderful place to perform.
Yes, I've been in St. Giles. It's a gorgeous church, absolutely lovely. And where else will you sing in Scotland?
We'll be going to Inverness, and I can't remember the name of the church there, but a performance up in that area, and then we'll be just touring around over our 8 days there.
So you're going from the lowlands to the highlands.
Yes, yes.
That sounds great. Of course, Edinburgh is in the highlands too, so I guess. But anyway, my relatives with these bloody groups fighting up in the highlands, and so. The Romans built a wall to keep us out and all those good things. So very interesting country.
Incredible history, and I love sort of the landscape that isn't like anywhere else. I think it's very unique. Maybe it's the heather, I'm not sure, but it has such a haunting beauty. I think June will be a wonderful time to be there.
Right. You have the long days, very long days. It'll be really nice. And I think it's the heather. And have you ever heard a lone piper playing up in the Highlands? Have you ever heard that?
I have, and it's haunting.
Yeah.
It's the quintessential Scotland experience.
Oh yeah.
And I'm really excited about going back. I've been to Scotland a couple times, and we always give the women a chance to vote on where we're going to go. We tend to tour every 4 years on a larger scale like this, and there was just a resounding interest in going to Scotland this year.
I believe that. Now, I'm talking with Dawn Willis, who's the artistic director of Bella Voce, a women's chorus in Vermont. Some people say it's the women's chorus in Vermont. She's not disputing that. I love Scotland, and I'm glad. How long are you going to be there?
It's an 8-day, so we'll, a full week kind of experience.
So you have a chance to go in these sites and rehearse and get an idea of what the acoustics are and like that.
Yes, and then we'll put on a performance and have a chance to get a sense of that culture experience, not just kind of run in, but tour the churches and get a sense of the people.
We'll go a few other places too.
Absolutely. Oh, yes. Deb does a delightful job of creating an active tour that's not too busy, so we do have some time to eat and play and shop, all the requirements.
Have a wee dram of
That could happen too.
National brew there.
You never know.
You never know.
Probably a lot of tea.
Where would someone call to get information about Bella Voce? And I know you have a website. We
do, absolutely. And you can actually get to me through the Bella Voce website, which is BELLAVOCEVT.org.
Okay.
So bellavocevt.org. And there's ways to contact me right through there. So anyone interested in anything, you can send an inquiry of all manner of things, including information about auditions.
Yeah. Where would people buy tickets for your concerts?
That's a great thing. Through the Flynn Tix. We have those up and available through them. That's such an easy way to do that. And we do encourage people to purchase tickets early when they can, because particular concerts will sell out. And so we're in this new venue. We're excited to be in the recital hall at St. Michael's this year. And our Saturday night concerts are at 7:30. So we hope that people will buy them in advance, but if not, get them at the door.
Right. You have a mentoring program.
We do.
Can you talk about that a little bit?
I'd be happy to talk about that. This is a program that's very near and dear to my heart. Bella Voce began in 2004, and the very next year we started this program, a mentoring program for young conductors, because I really saw the need through my educational experience, but in this area as well, for young conductors to get more time in front of groups before they're into their careers in a rather extensive way. So we've had over 20 young women in this program in these 10, 11 years. And the focus of it is it gives both college students or young teachers, music educators, in their first couple years of teaching, the opportunity to be a part of our leadership team, which functions as a sort of the core music leadership. We do warm-ups with these young women, and they get immediate response, feedback from some of the teachers within the group. And then at the top of this mentoring program, we have our conducting interns. And these are the young women who actually get to conduct in rehearsal and performances. So we have a variety of young women, most of whom are now in their first or second year of teaching in those conducting internships. They have a variety of things they do, from running rehearsals, sectional time, helping with the leadership, helping with the setup. They learn the whole picture of what it means to be a young conductor or a seasoned conductor in there making it happen.
That's marvelous. Pass on the knowledge, do it, well, just do it.
They don't get enough opportunities in busy classes to stand in front of groups and learn how to lead, how to face questions, how to answer things that they didn't anticipate, how to plan. All of that. Those are skills that, frankly, you learn in the trenches. And so we wanted to help these young women have those opportunities.
Right. Now, another thing you don't learn is about funding for artistic groups. How is Bella Voce funded?
We have wonderful donors, friends, and people that help create the funding for this group on a regular basis, and we are so dependent upon them. As you know, there's not a lot of funding beyond for the arts. And so we have had great support, though, through the Vermont Community Foundation. They have been in our court for many years, and we appreciate their support so much. but a lot of other funding sources over the years have dried up.
Right.
And it's a very difficult procedure to go after those funds, and so many people competing for them.
Absolutely.
So, you know, we have our fall letter campaign where we ask for support and hope that through the year our various fundraising activities, we have an annual tag sale, we do all kinds of, you know, sort of small fundraisers through the years, raffles, etc., to try to keep our funds coming in so we can make this great music and commission new music and be a part of this culture here in Vermont.
Why did you want to start a women's chorus quickly? I mean, you don't have a lot of time left here.
When I came to Vermont, I looked around and didn't see a women's ensemble in the community here in Burlington. And so I thought, well, that's something that I think I might be able to bring to this group. I conducted women's groups at colleges and other organizations, and I thought, you know, they have a special heart and soul. And I thought, you know, Vermont might flourish with one of these. And I was at a symphony chorus rehearsal, mentioned, of course, to Robert de Cormier, who was my mentor, that I was thinking about it. He's like, talk with the women. And so I spoke about it, and several women were interested. We had auditions a few weeks later. We started up and have grown since then.
We have very little time left, but is there unique beauty involved, associated with a women's chorus?
A women's chorus has a beautiful voice that it can be perhaps pure and light and varied. I mean, we do all kinds of music, but maybe it's more the expression of our heart and soul and our love of music. There's something about working with people who aren't required to sit there, but who have chosen to be in that ensemble and to come spend their time, give their energy and their heart and soul to making music. That's what Bella Voce offers this community. They're wonderful women and they have beautiful voices.
Well, I'm glad you started this group, and I hope you have a wonderful time in Scotland.
Thank you.
Sounds very nice. Thank you for coming, Dawn.
Happy to be here, Kay.
And thank you for joining us on Conversations with Kay.